So, good morning guys. I will be starting this off very quietly because it's currently 4:30 in the morning. But if you're new here, I have Fowler syndrome, a condition that basically I describe as my bladder being broken. I went into retention in April 2023 and I haven't been able to wee since. But today is surgery day, so I will be filming my whole experience of having a urostomy. So I'll be having my bladder removed and a urinary stoma formed. I'm so nervous, but I haven't seen many people posting much about this on YouTube, or at least from a patient perspective. So I'm hoping this might change that a little bit and help anyone maybe going through the same journey as I am. I hope you guys enjoy. Please subscribe and like this video if you do want to kind of see more. But for now, this is just my first check-in of the morning. I've had a shower with a hospital grade wash that they've got me to do. I took the majority of my piercings out, took my jewellery off, which is sad. I'm just going to redo my hair because it's messy. I've got dressed and everything else. Everything's packed and ready, so it's just getting ready to leave really. I think we're leaving at 10 to 6-ish, 5:45, just because the drive is a little bit of a way, and I got to be at the hospital for 7:15. But yeah, this is the first check-in. I feel very nervous. It also doesn't really feel too real. It's a bit of a weird feeling, but yeah. So I've checked in, just has to do a urine sample, which is easy for me. I have a catheter, and in the arrivals area, so hopefully I'm first on the list, as I said, and let's get into it. So I've got my gown. Small update, I've seen the anaesthetist, I've seen the surgeons, everything's signed, everything's gone through, I have a plan in place. Just waiting for a bed to come through in ICU and then I am going down.
We are on day 3 of Amy's recovery and her surgery. Here she is. Pain's been pretty bad and they've just managed to keep on with it, haven't they? And she's not yet up walking, but over the next few hours, maybe tomorrow morning, Sunday morning, they should be. But high spirits, positive thoughts, and she's looking good, so yeah.
So I have not recorded in a little while, but I am on day 5 post-surgery. It's been hard, I can't lie. Today though, I got out of bed and I walked for the first time. I sat in a chair and this surgery has been very difficult. My magnesium's a bit low, so I'm on a supplement for that right now, but yeah, hopefully home time soon. So, I have not recorded pretty much of this whole week. So I am on day 6 post urostomy surgery. I've been told that all my surgery went well. I had a CT scan last night because I was in a lot of pain, but that's actually confirmed that everything's working really well. So hopefully I'll be home soon, which is exciting. Recovery has been very difficult. I am now back to sort of walking. I walked unaided for the first time today, which was a very good step. Yesterday I walked for the first time with a Zimmer frame, and today was unaided. I did get very dizzy though, which was not fun. I will also note I have now seen everything. I've seen the stoma. I have helped to change the stoma bag with the stoma nurses. I've seen the incision, which I'll be honest with you was hard. I didn't really expect it to be so big. So I had an open supratrigonal cystectomy with ileal conduit, and the cut goes from just below my belly button all the way down to my intimate parts, very low down, and I have 30 staples holding it all together. So it's been a lot to take in, and yeah, I will be honest, this surgery has been probably a bit more difficult than I expected. I did have to spend a bit extra time in HDU, which we wasn't preparing for. I was only supposed to be in there overnight, and it ended up being, I came out yesterday, so about 5 days in there. I don't know how much I actually recorded over the past few days. I tried to, but I've been off my head on medications and pain and just the whole recovery process. But I will probably do some more updates, especially going home, and I'll do a whole roundup at the end. But I hope you're enjoying this video. I want to make sure people have a good understanding of what's going on, really. Here is lunch of today. Got chicken, croutons and wedges. Lunch of today, we have a masala gosht, basmati rice and mixed dal, and then we've got a naan bread, some plain yogurt and apple juice. So I don't actually know how much I filmed towards the end of this video. I am now 4 weeks post-surgery from my bladder removal and urostomy surgery. So where am I at, what's happened, and how has things been going? It has not been easy. I don't know how much of it I did film in the hospital. If I'm being honest, I don't actually remember too much of the start of my hospital stay. So I was admitted on the 12th, which was surgery day, and I was discharged on the 24th of December, so Christmas Eve. I was then sent back to A&E on the 25th, so Christmas Day, because I was having some worrying symptoms, and I was admitted, and then I was sent home again on the 27th. I've now been back a couple of times to the hospital with some complications, but in general, that was the whole admission. I spent, I think it was roughly 4 to 5 days in HDU, so the high dependency unit. I don't really remember too much of it. I had a lot of problems with managing pain relief because I have a very complex allergy list. So I was given some very intense medications that I wouldn't be allowed on a normal ward, and they were trying to find something that would help. So yeah, I was on HDU for 4 to 5 days. I had the most amazing staff when I went to HDU. When I say, like, I felt so cared for, and obviously that is the most intensive, like, patient care you kind of get. I was on pretty much 1-to-1 at most times. The most would have been 2 patients to 1 nurse, which you don't really get unless you're at that level of care. But all the staff I had were so extremely caring, which I think can kind of be rare. Whenever I've had my inpatient stays, I've always had, you know, some staff you look at and it's not amazing. I sadly had this straight after I was moved from HDU. I had a member of staff that I had to put in a complaint with in the end, literally as I got moved to a normal ward. So that was very disheartening and very upsetting. Recovery-wise, it has been very strange. I don't think I expected it to be as brutal as it felt to begin with. But I don't know if that was my brain trying to protect itself in the lead up to surgery. I tried telling myself almost that it wasn't going to be as bad as I thought it was, and then I got there and it was brutal. I was kind of amazed at how quickly I felt a bit more normal, if that makes sense. Once those really hard few days kind of went, I've been up and about and kind of doing stuff a bit more normally, to the point sometimes my partner's telling me I need to slow down because there's no point in trying to force recovery and then I push myself backwards. That's not wise. My stoma is healing really well. Sadly, during my stay, I got an infection in the wound, which my body actually managed to clear on its own, so I'm very pleased with that. but in the process they had to remove some of the staples holding the incision together. I did have 30 holding the whole thing together, which is quite a lot. But when they removed it, some of the wound opened up. So I have a very big wound, and it opened up in the middle bit, and then they were cleaning that, and then as they took some more staples out, a bit more at the bottom opened up, even bigger. So I'm still having dressing changes 4 weeks on, which isn't ideal. I was having daily changes. They've now been reduced to every other day. So yeah, it has been hard. Urostomy surgery, it's been very difficult. What I didn't expect was I felt no bladder pain, and obviously it kind of makes sense, but one of the very few things I remember in HDU, my partner came up and I said to him that I was in a lot of pain, but I didn't feel the bladder pain. And we both had a bit of a cry at that. It has been amazing to not feel bladder pain. I'm still getting a bit of urethral pain, which was a symptom before surgery. It doesn't necessarily feel the same, and I'm hoping it's just going to be part of the healing process, because they didn't take that with surgery. Obviously they took most of my bladder. They left the base, which is like the urethra, etc. But yeah, I wanted to kind of do a little bit of a ending. I've rambled a tiny bit, and as I said, I don't actually know how much of being in the hospital I filmed. If you do want to know anything, or if you have any questions, anything related to the surgery, please do comment down below, because I'd love to answer any questions and just kind of help people understand this more. So yeah, that was my urostomy surgery. I am 4 weeks post-op. I am feeling okay. I've been in a lot of pain. I'm still on quite a few painkillers. I am feeling very tired, which is something I didn't quite expect. I'm always feeling so tired. And yeah, that is all. Thank you for watching this video, and I do hope it helps some other people. I will link down below some links that I think you might find interesting to do with Fowler syndrome, which is the reason why I had this surgery, the Urostomy Foundation, and just some other bits and bobs. So thank you for watching. Please subscribe if you found this interesting, and I will see you in another video.